Welcome back, everybody, to Challenger League here live at the WDG Esports Studio. I am Valdez AI. With me is Wolf AI. We're going into the second series of the day. This one should be a little bit cleaner, I would expect, than the first one we had today, Wolf. Hopefully.
Yeah, I hope so. As you guys could see, we did have a 2-1 victory for Gen.G. Starting off with a win from Bro, but a reverse sweep does come through. Now we're going into HLE versus KT, which last season, would have been a pretty hype matchup. I think HLE is looking a little bit weaker this season, but KT also not quite fully finding their footing. So this also could go 3 games. And then we will, of course, later on, approximately at 7 p.m. KST, have that T1 and D plus Kia matchup. So that one will be the one-sided one of the day, but we're still not quite there yet. It's going to be interesting to see how these two teams perform today, because we've already seen a lot of LeBlanc 100% involvement today. I expect that will probably continue going into our next 2.
Yep, absolutely. 9 games today. That is what I want to see.
Yeah, no 7 or 8
there.
gamers. I
no
don't
7
want
or 8, yeah. We already passed 6, so the only other non-cringe thing that we can have happen is to get to 9 games. LeBlanc, Resident Sleeper, we already did see it a couple of times today, and it won a game, and then it got banned. Did lose the first one, but that was not really LeBlanc's fault. Here's Homolife Esports versus KT Roaster. Homolife Esports, as you mentioned, kind of in a weird spot. Like, they do look good at times, but also pretty inconsistent. So, curious to see which one we'll get today.
So I have a question for you, Valdez.
Yes.
Well, I'll wait until after we introduce Homolife because it's KT related, but Rooster still rocking the hair that we all like. He's just not going to get rid of it because it is it's just majestic. Roamer, of course, in the mid lane for this roster, and it's
easily.
Yeah.
He was great against T1. We cast him last week.
See how he performs. I mean, this roster very stylish, but also when it's their meta, they look very good. I wouldn't say that necessarily this is that time, but I was going to ask you to take a look at this roster. Has the KT logo, now that it's been changed for almost 2 years now, has it grown on you, the new logo?
Yeah, I think so. Now that I'm more used to it, I don't really see the P and leg anymore. I kind of see an R.
The reason why I
regardless of if the old logo is better, I think it has actually grown on me.
The reason why I ask is because today I saw the logo and I thought, you know what, maybe it's growing on me. Then I looked at it a little bit closer and I was like, nope, absolutely not. Once I thought it was, then I saw the P again and the leg. Now her drawing, her interpretation of the logo is actually like that's pretty good. That doesn't look like a P. That looks like an R to me.
Yeah. It's important when you're talking about rollster.
Yeah.
Right. Not holster.
No, it's not a PR logo different. Either, is it?
No, definitely not.
Kog'Maw was played by Lure in week 1. It was very fun to watch. He did a good job on it. We have not really seen it that much since then, but see if he could play it. He's the strongest player, I'd say, for Homolife Esports. When you consider this meta, it's very important for your AD carry to be very good, and I'd say he's the upper half here in Challengers.
Yeah, he definitely is. Will he be able to take out Hype today? I think the way that KT has been looking, perhaps. I would favor Homolife Esports in this match, but it is hard to say. Here's Feisty, and he has not been having the greatest amount of damage so far, but he's been part of a lot of the kills.
Yeah. It's kind of weird that he has Jace in 2 of his wins, still having that low DPM. Kind of unusual. Jace usually has pretty high DPM. The Ahri, on the other hand, a little bit more understandable, obviously, because you're doing more pick and execution based. As look at this!
Yay!
Fans coming down to check it out. A Rooster fan here as well. And yeah, it literally says yay. He's excited, and he's got the Challengers logo.
Yeah, both of these signs are great.
I actually
The Rooster
really like
one
the
is
Rooster
a little
one.
bit higher effort, I'd say. And even with like the little shading in the top, for
that,
Rooster,
yeah.
that was pretty cool.
That said, though, I do appreciate the implementation of Hangul, on the yay sign as
absolutely.
well.
I'd give both of those an 8.67 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd say that's exactly what I'd give as well. I think that's about accurate.
All right, we have a draft. KT are on blue side. Let's see if they can win game 1 from the B side, which stands for broken. Because you get to play Zeri or Aphelios.
Or LeBlanc.
Or LeBlanc.
Let's see what is banned here, as Yuumi will actually be taken away here by HLE. And the common Cassante Vi now also removed. And this third ban will give us a better indication of what KT's plans are going to be. Used to be Maokai pretty firmly in this spot, but it's now a little bit up for interpretation. Looks like fishing for Emilio pick. That's what Blitzcrank is doing by showing himself in this ban. And LeBlanc will be banned away too, so feels like a pretty easy Emilio angle here.
LB standing for LeBroken, so we're not going to have that in this game, which is very good. Maybe it's not LeBlanc, maybe it's just the static Shiv, but I'm willing to settle. Who win? Well, the game didn't start yet, so we don't know. Aphelios is the first pick here. They're going to leave Emilio up for grabs.
Will be a Sejuani now being hovered here for Grizzly. Emilio's still available, believe it or not. It's very much open. The Renekton here for Rooster has played this pick quite a lot, so has Castle, but I'd say Rooster's played it more. I don't actually have the data to back that up, it just feels that way, as I'll be locked in. So Milio Aphelios is actually pretty good in lane. You have a lot of range, but we have seen Milio, I think, with some of our weaker teams and in challengers, obviously compared to LCK, the synergy hasn't been as good with the pick just yet. They will still hover it here, and I think locking in is still a good idea. You also know that you can kind of choke out the enemy AD carry pool and or support pool here, because they're only going to be able to pick one of those two, if that, as Hanwha Esports, and you already have a pretty oppressive lane with Aphelios Milio, so feels pretty good. I actually don't even think you need to ban Zeri necessarily here as KT if they don't lock it in, because you can try to play around that lane. See what else they're going to
play Elise.
That's a Galio.
They should definitely not play that.
That is a Galio. Yeah. The G he was looking for is Gragas.
Yeah. Galio is not a pick in this meta. Here in Korea, we have a specific list. It's given all the teams. You're not allowed to go away from this list. You have to only pick champions.
Yeah, if you go away from the list, you will not have a good time. But, so people do
Zir's back on the list for 13.
He's on the list, yeah.
So you can pick a Zir. Renekton also back on the list, you may have noticed, even though he was gone for quite a while.
Renekton is here. Very common duo here.
Yundo says no, but
I think it's okay. I'll take it. As long as it's not Corki Azir.
Still could be.
I also, well, I mean, it could be. I'll take Corki Azir in...
Like, D+ did it in LCK. I thought it was actually good, even though they played really poorly. Like, I think the idea is good.
I was going to say, like, the Corki Azir is okay if it's in LCK. If it's in Challengers, I get a little bit more worried. As feisty as Syndra, also taken away. Feisty and Ivory, both great Syndra players. Usually we see those targeted bans here in LCK Challengers. See what the ban is going to be here, because there's a lot of late game scaling AD carries you could take away. This is not one of them, but I mean, he can be strong later on. I would have preferred to see like a Jinx ban here or a Zeri ban. Might still see one of those. I like banning Jinx the most when you consider the setup that Hanwha Esports has here already for picks.
Yep. The old Gen.G comp from 2021, but they're going to take away Renekton instead.
Rakan, yeah.
Rakan, I was looking at Renekton. You know, look, he's staring at us. How can I not? Look at his yellow eye. It's really creepy. Samira.
This is also not.
It's very on theme.
Yeah, I mean, it turns this comp that could be a like slow ramp up into the late game into a nope. It's just early mid now.
Oh God. Look at Lure's reaction to. He's like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, you've got a good front line. You have decent damage with the Zir, but and I guess they're saying okay, the Jhin can survive in lane and has good enough range to kind of farm it out. But Jhin in this meta, not great.
Is this a Lee Sin angle for Hanwha?
Elise.
I think it's Lee Sin. I mean, Viego's also pretty good here. Too much magic damage for Elise.
That's fine.
I think it has to be 80. I'm thinking Viego or Lee Sin. I think Lee Sin is great into this super immobile Jin, and you can get on top of him. Viego, similar idea. You have a lot of setup. I thought maybe it was going to be Heimerdinger here, Jin Heimer, but looks like it's going to be Ashe. She is not on the approved list of supports on this patch. You know,
yeah, she's not on the list.
Hey, there's the Heimer I thought we'd see. There he is.
The thing is that the officials are pretty lax about, like, you know, if they're going to punish you or not. They're like, okay, well, let's see if it's good enough, and maybe we can put it on the list.
Yeah, the name of the officials...
It's like a suggestion, you know?
The name of the officials, the org they're a part of, is called DC Inside, and they will be very upset with you if you do not follow the list. Could also be known as the coaching staff. Heimerdinger here I actually do like because it's a pretty low-range comp for KT that's super reliant on hard engage, and then you have Peel with Azir, you have long range with Jin.
Aphelios Melia.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's going to make Aphelios like a little bit longer range very temporarily, but I think that in order to set up on objectives here for KT, you're going to have to break through a lot. You have... Renekton is not a tank in a traditional sense, but because of Gore Drinker and his Q healing, he's very difficult to kill. So between him, Sejuani, the Azir, and those turrets, Lure has a lot of agency here. And I think Lure has just kind of been a pretty decent Jin player back in the Jin Maokai era where we had Jin, Heimerdinger, Jin, Ashe all the time. It was pretty good. Or he was pretty good, rather, at it. It was pretty good back in that meta, too. Despite what some other casters may tell you.
What, Jin?
Jin. Yeah. But I
don't like Jin.
I think KT have a better draft here, but I think kind of like esports draft does make sense. It's just, let's see how good the execution is, because you need to be on those objectives first. You need to have that setup. And if you're going to lose control of lanes or fall behind early into KT's comp, it's pretty doomed.
Yeah, if you fall behind this... Aphelios nowadays is basically just Lucian again. It's like Lucian version 2.
I actually think this comp for, it really is, for, or actually this game rather, is going to be one-sided. Like, I don't think there's any way where this game goes back and forth. It's going to be super one-sided one way or the other.
Well, guys, we're ready. Let's hop into the rift for game number 1. Bot lane, 5 people running
really is spring
in
season.
the grass.
Like, legit, if you took away the FAQ panel to the bottom left that lets you know exactly which patch version we're on.
Wolf, what patch are we on?
13.11, by the way.
Okay.
I would believe if somebody told me this was actually a screenshot from spring. Like, oh, yeah. Oh, of course, the right side of the map for HLE and the 5 champions. Calibrum Poke?
Is that Caitlyn Wolf?
I mean, effectively, yes. Although he did not have the campfire on him.
Caitlyn Lulu. Threw a shield on him. Caitlyn range autos.
See if he takes W at level 2.
Wolf, you have a high opinion of chat, assuming we can read.
Yeah, I do assume that. Because you are also typing, and that's literacy is usually required for that. Unless you guys are just very luckily pressing the combinations of keys.
It's first pick for every player on Helmet Life Esports. I would assume that is for summer. And again, this is very early on in summer. These picks aren't necessarily meta. I mean, the Sejuani probably the most staying power, but Azir definitely meta, even though he's relatively new because of the patch.
Yeah, I mean, I think also Renekton has been, you know, pretty common. It was played in week 2 quite a bit. So surprised to see Rooster have to pick that one up. I associate Rooster with being a good Renekton player. Like, I've seen him do it before. I don't know if the stats, like, his win rate is high, but I think he's a good Renekton player based on the eye test of what we've seen from him before. And so far, just doing Renekton things up here. Looking at rune setups, very basic here. Hype also going fleet footwork. Not lethal tempo.
Conqueror for Roamer. No lethal tempo Azir build in this game. And no ghosts for any of the 80 carries. Getting too spicy with that one.
All right, Rooster.
Got him. He bounced the belly on him.
Okay, he used his Q. We'll see this Viego is out of range.
Good timing on that ward.
Yeah. He like did it so systematically, the way he maxed his Fury out, looked for the empowered Q, then backs after taking away Castle's health, comes over at the right timing where this wave is pushed around the corner, sees the Viego, knows the timing that Viego would path this. If he was pathing this way, he would be up here. Pushes him away. Well played.
Yep. Jin just running around. He tricked us. He's just running around reloading down on the bottom side. At least every time we look at the bottom lane, he's just reloading. I mean, I don't even see him shooting anything. It's weird. We'll have to wait and see if he does get up the courage. See, look, he's reloading here again.
Yeah, he didn't talk to
anymore.
The Resident Evil shopkeeper to improve that reload speed on his weapon.
Yes.
Why doesn't he just buy a TMP? He could shoot way faster. Use that raw stats. Uses raw stats way better. You know.
Dat raw stats.
That raw stats.
Well, Hambag is here again. I want to relive the days where he gets to play Elise. Uh-oh, Slice and Dice is down. Rooster's going the opposite way. And he is going to flash into the jungle. And he might be able to get an execute off of this for the trade. And actually, no. He's just going to back. Rooster's still on the run. He doesn't know that he's not being chased. He's just wasting a lot of time here. Might even execute himself anyway. Yeah, just to be safe. There he goes. Fastest way to back. Yeah, that's a big win for KT.
I mean, it's 4.5 minutes in. He is his respawn timer. I was going to say recall. Respawn timer is still like 10 seconds, so won't lose much here. Looks like just a single minion is lost, but will be a cull he has to buy with his awkward timing, and Castle will just match him in TP. Could have been much worse, but down a flash, down TP, buying a cull on Renekton, not really what you want. It's not the end of the world, but definitely he played respectfully the first time, but the second time, going for that dash, he will be punished. He will feel it.
He's going to feel the pain of picking Renekton. Here is Grizzly. He's got some support from his team. So Hambag is here. He's going to spot them all. And Roamer roaming around that area. They're just going to have to give this one up. Homalife Esports first Drake in their pockets.
So, I mean, so far so good on these objectives with the Heimerdinger pick, you know?
And the Jin.
Set it up, yeah. Set it up. Get in there, entrench yourself, take the objective, make it difficult for a contest. 1 for 1. That trend will need to continue here for Hanwha Life. We're going to feel good about their chances. Feisty not feeling good about his chances here of making anything happen with level 6 up for Roamer and the health advantage he has. That's right, Heimer, you tell him.
Just getting revenge for what happened during Arcane. There it is.
He did not connect this time, though. Yeah, not the big damage he was looking for. Comet on cooldown. Now back, as you can see.
Wait, well, you play in English, don't you? So you hear the English voice lines all the time.
Yeah, I do play in English right now. I used to play in Korean, but it's been a while.
Somebody asked me on my stream, when was the last time I heard English voice lines? And it was a long time ago. Like, actually consistently, other than, like, randomly here and there from video clips.
I lived in LA in 2019, so I played a lot of League in English during that time. And then when I came back, I discovered that it was possible to then play on the Korean server in English. Using a very simple trick. Right? Korea hates it.
Yeah, they don't want you to know. Good morning. It is easy for KT. First of all, Lowry, it is currently 5:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Second of all, I don't have anything. KTR in the lead, though. 600,
in
500 gold.
They are behind a dragon.
Yeah, that early Ocean Drake. I feel pretty good. Make these lanes a little bit easier, especially for Rooster.
It won't feel as good when it's, of course, revealed to be Chemtech Soul.
Ooh, I don't know about that. I'm feeling a cloud again. Feisty hanging on the left side of the lane. He's going to flash directly into a Sejuani, who he then immediately stuns and walks away.
He basically flashes and seemingly mid-air gets the stun off on the Grizzly. And this is going to be an ult coming out of Hambach. So,
yeah, trade ults.
That's going to be the Herald, it looks like, going over to Hunter Life Esports, looking for a double objective here.
Now, let's see. I mean, there's a lot of ultimates down. Rooster still has his.
Feisty does not have flash, so the engage range pretty low. Does not have his stun prepped either.
He has Tibbers, at least, eventually. Down he goes into the Sejuani. First blood comes in, but immediately it's turned around, and Rooster is just massive in this fight. The Tibbers not nearly as much damage as a giant crocodile.
Yeah.
Humble Life Esports will take this objective in a 2-for-1 trade.
Well, that's 2 for 1 as well as 2 for 2 on objectives. And this time it wasn't even about the entrenched position of the Heimerdinger. It was just about Hunter Life Esports saying, we got Prio, we're on this objective, you're going to try to hard force as Annie. And really reminiscent of DRX versus KT in the LCK, where it's like, no, we're going. And everyone's watching like, I don't know if you should, I don't know if you should. We are going to force this, okay.
The Azir broken. Interesting take. I don't agree.
Well, I hope we can fix him then. If he's broken, I hope we can fix him.
Yeah. How do you fix an Azir?
Well, Riot's been trying to figure it out for years.
Is he is he more like Bird, or is he like?
I think he's more man than Bird. As this cast gear allows them to instantly blow up Grizzly, but they're now way out of position. Annie is fragile. There's like no way. How much is sand?
How much sand? Okay, exclamation patch. Take a look down in the bottom left. It is 13.11. Interesting name we've got there as well.
Yeah, and more than I was gonna say more than one aspect of the name.
Yeah, it was just a weak fight. I don't think that has anything to do with champion balance. I think KT just need to identify the position they're in and not take that fight in the first place. But again, it's challengers. They don't want to give up the objective. They feel forced, and they force it because of that. As we got plates going down everywhere. Lure and Dura going to split theirs. We got Roamer taking his in the mid lane.
Grizzly is also here, can clear this ward and stick around. Actually, a really nice position here for the side of HLE. Kuro drops a ward in there. They see Hambach. They can pipe back to this push. Control ward set and turrets.
Cleanse down, and Hambach is just running away. It doesn't really amount to too much, as they call it off very early. I mean, they get the cleanse of the lure, and they say, no, we're not going in. As Grizzly is going in, as the shot's not quite hitting, as they will move out to the angle on the right. But meanwhile, they're dropping the Rift Herald in mid, so...
Yeah, and that's a TP out of Feisty here.
Yeah.
Roamer not going to commit to trying to scoop him after the TP lands, but this is a whole lot of KT losing everywhere. Losing the bottom fight, losing the Drake, losing mid, losing TP. And, I mean, Rooster he's regained control of the lane after that second gank forced him to execute. He's got most of his call completed now, and I mean, I think Hunter Life Esports really playing this composition exactly to its strengths so far, and KT kind of smashing into a brick wall.
Chemtech Rift.
Yeah, I told you.
Okay, so that's the meta. You just get to guess it right away this time.
Yeah, I mean, I was wrong. I was off by 1 last time. You were off by 1 as well, and
Tectonic, honestly, I'm aware of it. All these picks and bans are repetitive no matter the region. How do you think they'll try to force variety in the future? Where they could do it where if you pick a champion, it's not allowed to be played in the next game. That's how you could force it. I don't know if that's a good idea, but that is one way to force it.
That's called, like, what do they call it? And they did it in the LDL. Was they called, like, Dominion or something like that? I'm really silly for not knowing the name, but they made a... Is it Fearless mode? Is that what they called it?
Guess so.
I don't know. Anyway, I personally, and I'll be the only one who doesn't think it's a good idea because it's like really cool to say it and it's like the trend, but it means that preparing for series, on one hand, one team could prepare something really cool because they're like, oh, any champ is viable, you know, we won't be able to play the meta ones. But it means the teams that are, you know, trying to prepare for a series might get caught by something. It just leads to lower quality of games because people are not actually well versed at every champion in the game. And if all champions are viable at any moment in time, or like I say, an expanded set of champions is viable, it makes it much more difficult to see the highest quality of games. Whereas if you have a smaller set of champions that are viable, okay, maybe I'd like it to be a little bit bigger than what we have right now, but if you have a smaller set, then it means that you will see mastery, right? And for me, like I'd much rather have literally the same draft 3 games in a row of players playing well than have like some wonky stuff where people are making mistakes that they're just not as familiar. That's my reasoning for not wanting it.
But what if they got used to it over the course of 5 years and then the game died? Because it took 5 years. No, like what if they got used to it and then they were like, okay, well now I have mastery on multiple different. Seems difficult though. As Roamer's taken 4 plates in the mid-lane.
That is. One check him PC in game. That is not normally. Yeah, I mean,
Misfortune and Lux. I mean, Misfortune was played recently, actually. Flash on in, Roamer, very nice response flash. Spicy was a little bit slow on the Tibbers, and now they will look to punish as the stun comes in, and one soldier one-taps him down. That is 2 kills as here comes Gragas trying to trade it back, and Roamer says, "What are you doing, my good friends? You will get swept into the bin." That is a double kill, and Roamer is dunking on everybody on the side of KT.
At this point, this game is almost unrecoverable for KT. Like, I know it's challengers, so, you know, if Chronicle were watching, he'd be very upset to hear me say that, but, I mean, this is, like, not even close. And now you have an Azir who's 3-0, has those 2 additional assists, 100% kill contribution. The Andres is done. He's going to pick up first break instantly here, with the majority of the plates taken, as you mentioned. And, like, now you have a front-to-back here for Hong Life Esports where they have proper setup. He's going straight to death cap. He picks up 2 needlessly large rods. And, like, the timing of this bear is very late, as you mentioned, so it's really easy for Roamer to flash it. Castle is trying to come over here and save the play, but he's so late. Permafrost procced here easily on Azir, and Feisty is just left out to dry. And then now Castle is like, I better commit to the play because I'm here.
I'm here already. I got to get something out of it.
That's, sunk cost fallacy on that one. And he flashed for the play, so it is also going to be down to Summoner.
And now they're going to take a free second Rift Herald. It's already 3,500 gold. Okay, KT actually want to fight this. After the Rift Herald goes down, so Hambak goes in, nearly immediately dies. Roamer, massive! He went from like 20% to 100%. Oh, man. Oh, this is just crazy. That's going to be the end of Wu Wei, I believe. The grenade is going to hit him.
Doesn't have W yet. Okay, just got it.
The stun. Another double kill here for Roamer. This is a wash, Wolf.
It's done, man. It's just over.
That Gore Drinker heal was disgusting.
This is what I said about the Renekton in this comp, right? Like, you actually have great setup. It's difficult for KT. They have to funnel in, and then Renekton actually, because of his passive healing he's going to get on his empowered Q as well as Gore Drinker. Watch this. They try to focus the Renekton. He's got Dominus. Then, boom, Gore Drinker Q. Or Q Gore Drinker is the order he did it in, and he's back up to full health. Like, on top of all those champions, if you can close the gap and these choke points, which you're going to be funneled into against Gen Heimerdinger when you fail the engage on these choke points when you're trying to contest objectives, like, it's just free. And I think Hanwha really have great mastery of their comp and how they want to use it. And KT are, I mean, they're just trying to hard force a square peg into a round hole. And you make that mistake once, it's like, oh, okay, you can still recover. You still have a viable comp. Like, this comp is good. You do it twice, and that's what we saw in that second fight. Now we're like, okay, you're 1-9. The game is done. Like, there is no recovery here. There is no bounce back.
Yeah, I just think that teams in Challenger League especially, they're like, well, we've made this decision. Someone made the call, so we're doing it. And it's like, after the Rift Herald went down, it's a late push. It's a Viego engaging onto a Renekton, of all people, and it's just never going to work, right? They're like putting themselves in a position to fail, as Wei is just dead. Okay, let's see who gets the kill. Will be Grizzly. Just throws out the whip and picks that one up. Tibbers looking to reach the same fade. Down it goes.
I'm not going to criticize KT for this one, you know? I mean, at this point, you're just so far behind. It's like, you can't even exist in your lane. As Rooster's actually going to push bot or push mid as they have this 4-man bot, they're going to actually get a charge on this inhibitor turret. That is where we are in this game, setting up these sun discs, so no flanks can happen. And like, what do you do as KT? I mean, you literally have no options. Hambak will die if he commits to this. Okay, he gets out with his Heartbreaker barely. That was a really heroic play for him to stop the charge. Will lose his ultimate. Not going to matter too much because there's no objective right now. But I mean, the fact that they sent Rooster mid during this is like just all you need to know. It's basically saying like, yeah, I could just get that top turret, but I can get that for free later. We want to actually get real permanent damage on the bottom side of the map where we'll have constant prior for the next streak. And then we might try to look for, or they might try to look for like an Elder end super early if they don't end the game before that, because this is a 7,000 gold lead, 7,200. It's looking pretty nasty.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, HLE Esports, they started off really weak this season. They got 2 0-2s, one against Nongshim, which is like, okay, Nongshim, pretty decent team. But then against Bro, who have just not been performing at all. They were like, what's going on with HLE? But they immediately turned it around. I cast them against T1 last week, and they looked insane. Like, they were really, really good. And yeah, T1 aren't at 100% right now, but I think it is also just that HLE Esports, they're on a roll. I mean, they took down DRX, who also looked insane on the same day. Also cast that one. And they're just a great team. And I think that KT, they're like floundering. They're obviously not on the same level at this point, I could say. As, okay, Mega Blast Cone comes in. Castle, though, on the Gragas will be able to get away.
Hambak here trying to hope for something. He does not have his ult back still. Bit risky to actually commit to this, as Rooster is trying to push that wave into that turret that's significantly damaged there in mid. Just going to clear this wave quickly. Has a second dash, can get out of here, and as they commit to try to push him away, the top side of the map continues to get pushed further and further. And with Leandri's death cap, I mean, this could be a Baron on spawn situation here for HLE Esports, especially considering they have these choke points set up with turrets, a Jin trap, they have vision, like look at all the control vision they have over there. It is, it's not going to be unrealistic that they actually start this up in 5 seconds. Like, this is one of those times where it's like actually the correct call to do Baron as it comes out of the pit. This is very rare, but that's the lead that we're talking about here.
You got Heimer, you got Fed Azir. You are chilling. Free Baron. And KT, I feel like we might see the same thing we saw in the last Rift Herald fight, which is they try to get in here. This time around, they are gonna play it slower, as they didn't quite full on commit to that play just yet. But yeah, it's a free Baron over to the side of HLE Esports.
It's just so oppressive. It's like when you lose a cannon rush in StarCraft, where you're like, where you lose to a cannon rush, where you just didn't deal with it early, you kind of walked into it, you made some mistakes, and then the cannons just keep getting closer and closer to your base, and you're like, well, I guess it's just done, it's inevitable. Like, do you pull your probes and like run into the cannons and die, or do you die slowly? Like, that's, you know, that's where we're at here for KT. If this were StarCraft, they'd GG out.
Well, they're going to pull their probes and attack straight on as in goes Hambak. He nearly dies, as now Millie ult comes out, trying to get the snipe here on a Hambak. Not quite going to happen. Fourth shot hits way on his way out. AT Rolster, they try to make the flank play happen, but timing not the best. And again, it's 11,000 gold at 21 minutes, so what are you going to do? Just going for the Hail Mary here.
Yeah, I mean, nobody can blame them for the plays they're making now, because everything is a bad choice. Every move is futile. There is no correct move at this stage, as Rooster looking for the double dash through the minions to grab Castle, to hold his ground.
Uh-oh. Tried to engage the bouncing grenade. That was a massive cast, and they got the Jin. Did he even exist in the end? I don't think so, as in goes Roaster, looking to roost on them right now. He will take them down. I don't know what I'm saying right now. Roaster's getting in there and roosting them. Amazing stuff. 8 kills now. Legendary here for Roamer, who I combined with Rooster. And yeah, HLE Esports will eventually get across the line.
Roaster. Oh boy. Well.
Did Jin really exist at any point in this game? I don't think so.
I mean, kind of. He did some decent damage in those early team fights, and he also set up some good traps. So that is going to be the Chemtech Soul. I think I'm going for a roaster vote for my POG.
Not a bad one. Going for another ban in the Twitch chat.
There you go.
Really good at those today. Chat's really good at... Let's take another look at this fight.
Humbug, like, hopeful, let's just say. I mean, the ultimate here from Aphelios does a lot of damage, and then Rooster's just like, yeah, but you guys have no money, you can't hurt people. Hype's like, I can hurt people! You can't hurt people. You can't break those cuffs, okay? You can't break those cuffs. That's a throwback. I don't know why that came to my mind, but...
I can break these cuffs! You can't break those cuffs.
Yeah, this is the reality, unfortunately.
I guess Roaster's angling for a BBQ sponsorship. Absolutely. Have to ask, why Jin? That's what I asked as well, but it's okay. I mean, he does run around reloading and stuff. He really did trick us, but it's okay. The rest of his team is doing a great job. Roamer's playing great. Rooster's playing great. I think even Grizzly might get like 1 or 2 votes there. Had a couple of good gank timings.
Yeah.
Bottom lane existed. I mean, they didn't play poorly or anything. They just weren't the carries in this game.
They are the crux of this composition, the Heimerdinger turret setup, but ultimately it was about the failed engages from KT that gave the rest of Hanwha a huge lead. And so even though the comp was kind of about like, all right, how do we set up this Jin and Heimerdinger? KT was like, how do we try to force these fights where you don't have positional advantages? And then the comp became about a Fed Renekton and a Fed Azir.
Can't force those fights.
You can't force those fights.
I can force these fights! You can't force those fights.
I can defend this Nexus. No, you can't defend that Nexus.
Can't defend that Nexus. It's 1-0.
Nobody in chat gets this reference, man. We're
There's
so
probably
old.
like 1 or 2 people.
We're so
That's
old.
an old internet video. That's like a 2005 probably.
Yeah, that's like first 2 years of YouTube, you know?
I'd even... Is that YouTube? It might
Well,
have
I mean,
been before YouTube.
I mean, it was on television, right? I think it was on Cops.
Yeah.
But, of course, like, within the first 2 years of YouTube's how it spread to, like, the younger generation.
One of the first memes.
Yeah.
Thought it was a Shrek reference.
No.
See, this is why we can't relate with the kids,
No,
man.
we can't. We're just too old.
Boomer, man. We just can't do it.
I mean, if you guys are curious, just search. I could break these cuffs.
It's almost definitely
it's
still
also
on
like
YouTube.
it's like not an inappropriate meme. It's just really funny. Like, it's not a thing that like your parents would approve this meme.
Guys, I really lime your casting, but you never failed to make me feel Yeah,
Sorry
same.
about that, but we're
Same.
all. But don't you feel like you can relate to us? It makes you feel like you're not alone in your oldness.
Yeah. There's a whole generation of people that are just like us. Now, KT Rolster's still trying to break the cuffs. I don't know if they'll have an opportunity. At least Hanwha Life Esports only have Chemtech Soul.
Right
and
now,
it's
we're at the part where KT's like.
Atlas was
So
taught
dumb.
that. Atlas was taught that meme like 5 years ago.
All right, here we go. One last chance.
All right, KT, they've got it. They are struggling. They're trying to break the cuffs. The cask is good again, but the strength is not quite enough as Rooster, they are running into a choke against an Aphelios. That's not a good idea. And so, although they didn't kill anyone, they're still sort of winning the fight.
Okay,
Here
I mean,
comes
yeah, they
KT
did a lot of
again.
damage. The health bars
They will
are
not
low.
give up.
TP from Rooster. He's
You
got
can't
flash.
break those cuffs.
Oh, that's not the ult.
Yeah, not the ult we're looking for. As Ingo's Hambach nearly steals it. The timing was very, very nice on that. But at the end of the day, still going to be Hanwha Life Esports taking down the Baron. Got a little bit closer than it had to, I think. And Jin did deal a little bit of damage. You know, he did fire his weapons a couple of times, but most of the time he was reloading,
I
I'm pretty
love
sure.
that, like, Jin also, I was going to mention this earlier, but he's like, I've got a Storm Razor and a Rapid Fire Cannon. I'm 1,400 gold behind. He's just like, this isn't about me. Lore's like, Mythics, I'm not building that, I'm building LDR. Because I got to kill this Gragas or help my team kill this Gragas by offering a small modicum of damage. We got a stopwatch also.
Yeah, he's not going to die this time.
He's not going to hurt anybody, but he's trying not to be hurt also.
When are we going to see the tank Jin, the Trinity Force Jin?
Titanic Hydra Jin?
Yeah. Trinity Force.
Oh my god.
Into, what's the other item? They built something before Titanic Hydra, but either way.
Were you talking about the
tank
Zeri?
builds. Yeah, like the Zeri.
Doesn't she just build Hurricane? Runen's Hurricane into the Hydra usually? And then
Sometimes?
I mean it's not always.
Hydrogen?
Hydrogen.
Yeah, hydrogen.
How many atoms?
You mix that with oxygen, you know what you're gonna get.
Water?
As long as there's 2 hydrogens
Okay.
and 1 water
I wasn't aware.
in that ratio.
Honestly, I wasn't aware of it.
CS hype.
Okay,
Yep.
wait, the Elder is actually happening. I joked about it
Elder
earlier, but we
flip?
got this far.
There's a game
Can
happening.
they break those cups?
He's trying to break the cuffs, man. He's getting pretty close.
Castle on the edge. Hype needs to do big damage. He does not have his red gun yet. Needs to use that Calibrum and spam it out. Needs to get in the range to use it. Use it.
Castle? Oh my god, what is happening? He mega codes into the back line and he's just going to die, basically. He does get away for now. As the Jin is attempting to fire his guns, I repeat, he does hit Feisty with a 4th shot and a W into Hype, who is still alive. Somehow, I do not know how. Do not ask me the answer to this question. Hype is being chased down, and he's going to get shot by Jin, who's actually beginning to do a little bit of damage now. And that's going to be the end of the game, guys. We are going to have a TP into the base. And Hamaleif Esports, a very clean game, number 1. Got a little bit, the cuffs were beginning to stretch a little bit, but at the end of the day, it was Hamaleif Esports who win the game.
Crab Rave, you love to see it. I don't know, I think I'm actually moving my vote to Roamer. I'm going to be honest. It was Rooster most of the way, but it's gonna be Roamer in the end, actually. I think both the solo laners had fantastic performances, but I am going to vote mid on this one, actually. Well, the game ended up going way longer than I would have expected with the 11,000 gold lead. The Baron spawn kill, which was just instantaneous, but they staved Hanwha life off for a little while. But man, Hanwha, if they keep playing like this, it is not going to be a fun series for KT.
Yeah. They have looked amazing recently.
And KT also, I mean, they dropped the ball a lot, and I think they just were not very prepared for this composition. Especially the Azir Renekton, like not the Heimerdinger part, which was what we thought was going to maybe potentially be the crux of this.
What about the Jin part?
The Jin part also, yeah, not really, wasn't really about that much. Can you imagine if it was actually just like Zeri with the lead they had?
Yeah.
Or Jinx, which was what we were kind of calling for? Would have been bad. I mean, it was still bad, but it would have been more
But instead we had support Jin. It's okay. It's all right.
He did less damage than Heimerdinger.
Yeah, Atlas will be very happy with this damage chart. At least he did more than the Sejuani. That we can give to him, thankfully. Oh, another juicy ban. This is my favorite part of the day when I just get to ban idiots in Twitch chat.
Yeah, it is quite the exciting part for Valdez generally. I like watching you work. I like watching you do it.
Yeah, just hanging out, It's the Rip Bozo angle.
The Rip Bozo angle, there you go.
And we did have 1 tower and 3 kills on the side of KT.
He did have a 4 in his damage, that's true, Yundo.
That wasn't Yundo.
Oh, I thought it was Yundo. Never mind.
It was Beetle Tong Tong.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Beetle Tong Tong. My apologies. I don't know why I thought it was Yundo. Yundo has the same color as that in chat, I think.
Do you wiggle your fingers and say, don't mind if I do, before you banning people? Absolutely, every time. Roamer, 11-0 and 6. Not 1,000 DPM, though. A little bit disappointing.
Very close, though. will be 100 POG points for this guy. It's his first of the season. And
look, he's been great though. He got robbed a couple of times last week.
he did.
Like,
And
he was great in that series too.
I think both he and
One vote diff.
Rooster. Oh, 1 vote diff between him and Rooster. Wow, that's.
we were the difference makers.
I changed at the end. I just had to give it to him. I don't know. I feel bad for Rooster because I wanted to give it to him too. But I mean, when you're 11-0-6 and you're hitting every Emperor's Divide and doing massive damage in those late game fights, and also rushing down these objectives, it's going to be a Roamer vote for me.
Yep. EN cast Keck W, but it was the right thing to do from our point of view. Yeah, just a really great game of Azir. He was given a massive lead, and he did so much with it. And I think that's, pretty nice.
Yundo's not even the same color as who I thought he was. He's like a lighter blue.
Tong Tong.
Yeah. I don't know why I thought that was Yundo, man. I'm losing it tonight. It's going to be a 9-gamer.
It's going to be a 9-gamer tonight.
KT's going to come back, man.
Absolutely.
It's 9 games.
No 7 or 8 cringe gamers. None of that. Guys, we're going to take a break. We'll be back for game 2. Welcome back, everybody, to LCK Challenger League. I'm still the Valdez AI, that's Wolf AI, and we're getting into game number 2 here of KT up against Hamalife Esports. The first one was not very even, Wolf.
No, it was very one-sided. But game 2, this is when KT turns it around. This is when they bring us to a 3. So that I can finally get my 9-gamer that I deserve. I didn't get it in spring. You didn't get it either.
Nope.
We had not had a single 9-gamer, either of us.
Let's take a look at the win rate of Renekton here in Challengers so far for summer.
Looks pretty... Wait. It's here.
So there have been 14 picks. He is 8-6.
He's like just... Now he's, what, 9-6? So he's no, it's been even higher, right? I think he won multiple times today. Oh, I'm not doing math on stream. Didn't he?
I don't know if we saw it in the first series. I don't remember.
Well, we are going to see Perfect in for Castle, because this is the KT way. Not the sub, but the way that KT decides to...
Way is still in.
Way is still in, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Just to make it clear, but... KT does this every game, so we'll never know what it really means, but I don't think it means anything. The players are very similar in strength, so they will both play.
Perfect prediction. Predict that perfect would be hauled up here. Humble Life Esports have no subs.
No.
Probably could have guessed.
I also had
One
no sub
thing-
today. You did, though.
I did have one sub, yeah. One thing you guys may have not predicted is that KT have selected the red side for game number 2. So they say, well, we lost on blue. It's time to shake things up and go on to the red side.
See what the draft will allow them. Maybe they will take the Renekton away this time and look for some early power on Heralds. Let's see. They may also just ban the Renekton. LeBlanc was banned last game, which did mean that we didn't see it, obviously, but I wouldn't be shocked or surprised if it does make it through this time with KT moving over to red. No Nico, though. That's not happening.
Yeah. Playing on red side right now is like playing with 2 bans. The other one is like half of your ban, where you get to choose between like 7 OP champs that you don't want to play against. And then your opponent gets first pick. But you do get 2 of your own, which we have seen teams utilize. But generally right now, blue side is quite strong, but they want to play something new. They didn't win on blue side. They don't want to play on blue side. Sure, let's see what they have prepared.
Maokai banned this time.
And I've said that many times in the past, Wolf, in Challengers. I'm like, let's see what they have prepared. And then we see the exact same
draft
thing
on the other side, yeah.
Yeah. Or we see, like, they just play what their opponents played on the same side. They're like, well, we can do it too. And then they lose.
Yuumi is gone. Just like game 1. See if the Zeri actually gets played this time.
Yeah, the Gragas was played last time into the Renekton.
Yeah.
They did put it up there in the top lane.
Will it be a LeBlanc ban here for KT, or are they going to leave it up? They're going to ban Milio, so could see Roamer's LeBlanc here in game 2. See how much preparation he's put into that static shiv, and it is going to come through. Wow, we're living in a world where LeBlanc is B1 priority. That was not on my bingo card for 2023.
There was a year, I think it was right when I joined the LCK in 2017, where she was perma-banned on, by the red team. It's like, you're not allowed to play this. And if blue ever got a chance, which they didn't, it would have been first.
So like Nico right now, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And it used to do like the same thing, where it's like, oh, they got LeBlanc, they just win by default.
Well, we did see it lose. So we'll see if it's a default win here for Humble Life Esports, if they can find the same advantages that Roamer found in game 1. I would not be surprised if it is that LeBlanc win. Up against Annie here in the mid lane. And what's going to be the follow-up here? You know, it could go for something like Aphelios. We'll be looking for the Rakan. So maybe a Xayah draft here.
Rakan.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
Sure. Okay. Reble? No, not anymore.
The red lane, yeah. Rakan is a very interesting pick. It does feel like we do prioritize it a bit more here.
First time chatter, Hung Deacon, feisty move from Bro to KT, yeah, a long time ago.
Oh, no, no, no. Don't pick Viego, please. Viego's fine. It's really good in the meta.
Okay, so now they have LeBlanc and Renekton, and they got the Lee Sin that I was calling out for last game instead of the Viego.
Yeah, so Humble Life Esports win the draft.
Let's wait and see. I have seen crazier draft pivots.
Maybe they'll play Jax this time.
Will be a Poppy to come through, actually.
Poppy.
So a bit of a flex pick. And they will lose Xayah for this. And if KT decide they want to ban some... I mean, maybe they're just saying we're playing Aphelios, we're gone now. See what KT decide to ban. Lucian gone. If I'm Hano, I just ban Aphelios, Xayah, and go,
yeah,
I already have an 80 carry, I have LeBlanc. What?
True. It's so funny that we see so many Lucian bans, but we just never see him play. He gets banned all these times. Teams are like, I don't know, they might pick Lucian here. I'm like, Lur's a good Lucian, but nobody plays it. Why not ban Zeri or something meta? Okay, it's Nautilus.
That looks like a Zeri ban angle.
Yeah.
If they are expecting it, but they could also ban Aphelios.
Ban Zeri. Or Aphelios.
How much, like, what's it going to take to get LeBlanc actually in the bottom lane, like, with the support? Like,
yeah.
How far away from that are we really?
It's just she's so good at solo laning. Yeah. So they elect to ban neither, and they'll probably get the other one. Or they can just play something that's not Zeri.
Okay. I mean, I think Varus is really good with his poke comp that they have, where they have a really nice front line with the Renekton. Kaisa.
With the roaster.
Zeri. Jinx. We're not sure on Hanwha. We don't have a plan.
Jin.
I don't know about that.
I mean, it worked in game 1, right?
Yeah, but this is different. This is different. This is not the
well,
same
they won a game
one.
with Jin. It must be good, right? Jinheimer? It's the 9-game angle.
Maybe KT will just push into it again.
Hololive Esports were winning the draft until they weren't.
I see. What did I tell you?
You knew it. You're like, wait, hold on.
Know.
I was like, no, it's set, man. They have a great top side. They're good.
Right. Well, it's going to be Poppy top into the Renekton. Yeah, no. Play Shaco. Hold on.
Yeah.
That's not Shaco. That's...
Shaco static Shiv. It's good on the current patch. I don't know about... you know, I say good, but it's, you know, it's the whispers, the rumors on the Twitterverse.
I think what LeBlanc and Azir both do in this composition are... Ultimately, the goal is the same because Azir is going to have the Andres. He is going to ship damage into KT as they try to approach the turrets, etc. What LeBlanc is going to do is try to static Shiv in the same way and can do it from different angles. The one thing that LeBlanc doesn't have, that Azir does have, I mean, there are multiple things, but the most important part is Emperor's Divide, right? And she does not have that. She doesn't have it at all. Not even anything slightly like that. And I think that's a really key part of...
What about the Empress's Divide?
Oh, she doesn't have that either. You know, so I'm feeling like this comp doesn't really work the same way. Now, in the previous game, Roamer got so fed and Rooster got so fed that we didn't even have to talk about the Jin or the Heimer. That could happen again, but if it does, we have serious concerns, I think, on the side of KT Rollster. I think they'll play it much better this time, and I do think we're going to 3 games here in the series.
Static still quite a bit worse on this version. Well, either way, LeBlanc still broken with it on this one, as you have mentioned. Roamer got a lot of kills, quite a many few. As we are just about to jump onto the Rift for game number 2.
Match 22, game 2. Lots of 2s.
Match 22, game 2, but the patch is 13.11.
True.
Not 13.12. There's no 2 in that one.
Nope.
And let's see how it goes if KT can actually get something going here with this mid-jungle duo this time around. Let's jump on the Rift for game number 2.
I was like this close to saying 2-2-2-2 instead, but nah, that was too many 2s. By the way, both of these teams are 2-2. The 2 of them.
Wait, so does that mean we need a 3rd game? No. It means we should only have 2 games. It means that we're going to cringe out with either 7 or 8 games today.
No, Valdez, not with this draft from KT. They have the better draft.
They definitely don't have Jin. But
1-0 for
they also
Lure.
don't have they also don't have LeBlanc. So a little bit worried about that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go through all of the win conditions as Heimerdinger Jin comp again because we spent the entire early game before KT jumped into the meat grinder last time talking about it. And
Wolf, what's this LeBlanc skin?
wait, I didn't see it.
I've never seen this before.
I actually didn't see it. I was like trying to take a peek at Twitch chat. Not YouTube chat, of course. I wasn't looking at that right now.
No, we don't look at YouTube chat.
I mean, I do sometimes, but
I try to avoid it.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know.
Look at this. This is cute. Man, what is that? Looks like a campfire. Static Shiv skin. Soon.
Well, passive is pop. Feisty getting that one early. Going to be drinking some potions that, much like my hot water cup, will be refilled when Roma returns to the fountain.
Watch normal LCK and YouTube, but for CL I come here for the sense of community.
Yeah, sense of community, which is a trademark of LCK Challengers, is what a lot of people come here for, and I'm glad that you can also find it.
Yeah, make sure to put the TM next to sense of community, so we do have Hambach here in mid, but it's LeBlanc, so just looking for the counter gank, expecting maybe some support from Grizzly. Does not happen.
No, and Grizzly is just lurking.
Any lurkers in the chat?
I think so.
There's probably quite a few. There's also one on the Rift.
He's going to look for the Gromp steal.
Just kill Hambach.
Not just steal Gromp.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he did it. Wolf was right.
Can't kill Hambach.
Can't break those cuffs.
We're starting that a bit early this time around, aren't we?
We watched that video during the break.
We did.
It was great. It was a great video. Hope you guys did as well. Hey, I'm a lurker. See? You got one guy. He's a lurker.
But when you speak
now
in
he's
the
never gonna
chat,
type ever again.
when you speak in the chat, does that immediately take away your lurker status, or do you get to
Is
keep
their
it?
mic's working? Nope, definitely not working. Why is CL in 1080p with LCK in 720p?
I'm not taking that one.
That's where you point and you say, that's bait.
I'm not taking that one, and I'm really just gonna.
I just looked at Wolf after I said
Valdez knows that actually he and I are gonna have a 20-minute conversation about this question that you guys won't understand, but I'm not taking that one. Okay, once again, the
He's
steal.
still here. This is not fair. How you
Grizzly,
just
man.
keep stealing
This
everything?
time, maybe he steals and kills Viego, gets his flash.
With the little head scratch, he's like, wait, Lee Sin can invade, but this is pro play. Everybody just farms their own jungle.
Not in this game.
What is this counter jungling?
TP gonna come through here from Feisty, who's still about half a level behind. Kerchessi's picked up here for Roamer. You can see using it as best as he can here, but we'll take a bad trade. And, well, I am a little bit concerned for KT.
I'm concerned that Jin is going to win again. What's going to happen is Hama Life Esports is going to be like, you know what? That Jin is really working for us. Let's play it against a good team.
Hey, KT is often a good team. Today,
I'd say they're an above-average team.
Not looking like a good team at this moment in time, but have been a good team this year. Like, for a while, it looked like maybe KT was going to go to the finals. Roamer is dead.
Oh, God, he's dead. Yep. That's a kill. Straight up, first blood solo kill for Feisty. And you got to see that one coming. That's what Annie does. She's very straightforward, but
he's also just taken several bad trades in the lane, unfortunately, leading to the kill opportunity here for Feisty. And, I mean, unfortunately, flashing against Annie is not really a thing, because that Q and the auto, these things are going to hit you regardless.
You have to know you're in kill range here.
Yeah.
And that's why he's backing up, but I want to see, like, how does he get... Okay,
oh,
well, that's how.
Man. So
I was like, how does he get in range? Oh.
Yeah, he goes into range and then sets it up for Feisty. That was... Feisty, man, he's got the killer's eyes. He will see that opportunity the second you distort in like that.
Just a little bit of an oopsie. It can happen to the best of us.
As Hambach is continuing to have an unfun time. He is not enjoying his League of Legends experience. TM.
Yeah, the sense of community, TM, that we have here is not being shared by Hambach.
Yeah,
either.
he does not have a sense of community here because he's not in Twitch chat. If only he could just open that pop-out chat, then he'd be feeling it. But at the moment,
also be breaking the rules.
Yeah, so he can't do it.
Yeah, he's just not allowed to join.
So he's just not going to have that sense of community that you can't feel in LDL, can't enjoy it in LCS Academy.
Should I go Jim for T1 versus DK? I mean, you can just bring your phone and watch on your phone. That seems fine.
Well, yeah, but that is kind of against gym etiquette, isn't it? Unless you got your headphones in and And if you're watching this at the gym, then you're sitting on the bench too long, that guy's waiting for you and he's getting really mad. Don't be that guy. Honestly, if you're not going to be on the treadmill, I'd say to, like, go to the gym after that series if you don't want to miss it.
Dan's game, not listening to Korn at gym. I mean, Korn's pretty cool. I can relate.
I'll be honest, like, I don't really like putting things in my ears while I'm at the gym because I get sweaty and stuff. So I kind of just listen to the same 12 songs my gym plays every time I go there. It's a little bit of a tragedy.
Charters. How was the first set of games? Well, DK didn't play in that one. Valdez's mic is scuffed.
I can't fix it. Sorry.
I can't fix this mic. Perhaps production could fix my mic. I didn't realize that
honestly,
there was an issue.
He wasn't aware of it.
Honestly, I wasn't aware that my mic was scuffed, but hopefully now we can be aware. Maybe I just, you know, sometimes I look at Wolf, and maybe that means my face, and I'm not facing the right way into the mic. Yeah, it's probably just that. I think my mic is fine.
Okay, glad to hear that.
Is it like when I do this? Is it like quiet time right now?
Yeah, because Valdez is like looking at me, still a little peek at me.
I'll just give him the side eye from now on. It's fine. Thank you, Atlas.
All right.
Hope you're
a voice we can trust.
Hope you're doing well.
Ooh, that dodge.
The Nightmare Dungeons. That was a nice dodge. Okay, we're just getting on in there as the Croc is deep in the enemy backline, but that is not going to work out too well for him, although we do have the Heimer picking up a kill. And it's a 1-for-1 trade.
It certainly is.
KT only lost their support.
Yeah. For KT, though, I think trying to approach this position is going to be very difficult as Hype also loses a third of his health bar. And Grizzly, he has his ult available, doesn't have flash. Wants to stick around here, but Minduro needs to set those turrets up again here. There's one. No, that's actually just a ward. I thought he was going to drop the turret down. Wants to push forward. There it is.
Poppy is thinking up a lot of damage right now for KT. As now the flash in from Wei, he is back. Flash in from the Viego, and this is KT turning around a big fight. They're going to take this Rift Herald as well. And yeah, they lost the first dragon, and the jungle diff was palpable, but
I think
times have changed.
This game is kind of a mid-diff situation here because Roamer is significantly behind. Doesn't obviously have the static ship spike yet. As, yeah, Wei will be traded here for the Renekton, but this is advantage KT. They don't have the turret set up the way they want to, and this comp, I feel like, really doesn't work without an Azir ult. Or something similar, right? Some sort of mid that can kind of peel for you, as LeBlanc can offer very little in this fight. At this stage in the game with the Kerchessis shard, like, what is she really doing? Does she even exist in this fight? Not really. And the Wei has this really great setup. Hambak falls up. That's Deadly Sin is trying to commit. Yeah, Jin's also not at this stage of the game going to be very relevant without proper setup. So I'm not feeling great about the chances here for the side of Hanwha Life Esports. As we said in the draft, I really don't think this is it, unfortunately.
All right, this is a pretty good 9-game angle. I'm hoping that
at least
we
6.
can get there.
At least 6, right? But, you know, we still have to see how T1 does. You know, but we're on the way. We're on the way.
It will be, well, I mean, yeah, at least it'll be 6. It will absolutely be
I'm
saying
it's
6.
I'm saying it's going to be at least 8, right, total. But I don't know if we're not 9 yet, because T1 will have to win a game against T+. Okay. Just put it into perspective.
Yes, true.
Like, don't get excited about the 9 games, chat, until this works out.
I want to go into the third series with a chance at 9 games. I don't want to go into that one with this being a 2-0 and we're like, well, guys, we had a chance at the 9-0, but unfortunately now we don't.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm hoping for that, but I want 9. I want the full set. But I'm not ready to believe yet.
Yeah, it's at
in
least
this game,
7.
though, I'm feeling like we are going to hit 6 out of 6 for first 2 series, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think Wolf was saying that this is looking like a 3-gamer, so.
I mean, Chad, I'm not going to do a math on stream, but I'm not that out of touch, okay? I'm just saying for maximum possible games of the first 2 series, it's a 6er, it looks like.
And this is what Annie can do, especially if you get ahead. You can just start bursting. Hashtag bursted.
Yeah, Hanwha Life Esports are getting on the other end of that now.
Yeah, they're understanding what it's like to experienced that.
I'm trying to see an angle here for the
Last
side.
bear.
Okay.
There it is. Roamer just going to distort away. So he was pretty fast on that one, at least, expecting the play to happen.
I think super hyper focused because he is trying to bait something so Grizzly can come in here and punish, but he's not quite there fast enough. Feisty down a flash. It's going to be KT picking up the Drake. And it will be Chemtech again because I didn't predict anything this time, so we just got it back to
Yeah,
back.
we just defaulted
Sorry about that,
to
guys.
the last prediction.
That's actually on me.
Thanks, Wolf.
But Static Shiv is done now. That's what the observers are showcasing here. He has picked it up.
Wolf, are you a toast or cereal kind of guy?
Toast, 100%.
Yeah, me too.
Cereal is for children.
I used to like cereal a lot, but then as I got older, I started to have stomach issues when I would eat it. So kind
Now-
of gave up on that.
If you eat like some really healthy grain cereal, I think that's okay. But if you're eating Fruit Loops, what are you doing? I love Fruit Loops, but like
I want you to
it's
take
not-
a look at your life.
Yeah, it's not. That's for your
Pancakes or
kids.
waffles?
Waffles, 100%.
Yeah, same.
I'm actually glad we're having this like interactive chat.
I used to like pancakes better, but as I got older, I changed to waffles. Y'all hating on God.
What?
That's what he said. He said, y'all hating.
I think he said y'all hating ONG.
That's what ONG stands for. On God.
I don't think so, because like, where's the N then? That would just be OG, which stands for original gangster.
Yeah, but on is short enough that you just, yeah.
I don't know about that, Valdez.
You got, the Zoomers in chat can let us know.
Raisin Toast is
On
actually
Wolf
top tier.
tripping fur. See?
Gotcha.
On G, on God. See? There it is. Pepe D knows.
That sounds like a very reliable source.
I mean, in Twitch chat, that guy's like the boss of Twitch chat. Like Pepe D. Come on.
By the way, you have to say the underscore.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. Pepe D underscore.
Yeah, see? He said Pepe D question mark because it's Pepe D
Sorry.
underscore. See? He put the underscore in the chat.
He knows, yeah.
I told you. You thought I was trolling Valdez, but he knows he's got the underscore there. Come on.
Can we all be friends and enjoy Pop-Tarts?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
But I will not. I'm not actually going to recommend that you eat Pop-Tarts, but I will enjoy them
As a
much
snack,
As
I mean, you know. Cereal
pretty
is
big
just
snack.
like a snack that it's like dessert for breakfast. So
yeah.
don't do that. But if you're eating like 1 or 2 Pop-Tarts
All right, so Pop-Tarts
as
are
a dessert, I mean, that's okay.
chat. Pop-Tarts are toaster strudel though.
Toaster strudels are better, for sure, as Romer's caught a little bit, but he is LeBlanc. This is the point of the LeBlanc.
Yeah, Pop-Tarts for sure, and actually they're better.
Jin bought a Mythic?
Yeah, I think he accidentally bought Ghostblade. He's trying to be relevant.
No, it's not my birthday, but it's almost Wolf's birthday.
My birthday is coming up on Thursday, but you know what's also happening on Thursday, which is way more important than my birthday? Final Fantasy 16.
Thought you were going to say LCK, but
Well, also that's
I will
also more
accept
important
this.
than Final Fantasy 16 is LCK, but
perfect flashed, but he's extremely tanky. I don't even know if he had to flash. It would have gotten a little bit dicey.
yeah, well, Wei is on the flank here. This actually
They
could
have
be,
no idea.
yeah, this could be massive.
He has snuck his way into the back line. They have no idea. Here we go. He's going to catch the Heimerdinger. That is one Ultra Dead Heimerdinger. He is now gone as a ton
Rooster?
of damage from the Annie comes out. Rooster is a massive frontline. He's hunting down Hambach, and he gets popped into the back line. Oh, no! That is the most deadly of Crocs I have ever seen as the Blast Plant strikes again.
Why
You can't make this up.
Why did they all get on top of a Renekton who has empowered Q and Gore Drinker? Why did they do that? What did they mean by this?
What were they trying to say,
Honestly,
Wolf?
I don't think they were aware of it. I don't think they were aware of what Renekton could do here.
Well, okay, Rooster,
hold
though,
on.
was great.
Yeah,
like,
no, hold on.
his positioning was
flashed.
awesome. He got right on top of them. And then he got blast planted into them.
Yeah, so let's watch this again. So Wei has a really nice catch here on the Duro. And I was scared that he was going to go into Rooster and end up getting caught here. Rooster flashes, and everybody gets on top of this Croc. Like, literally, they're all standing on. By the way, they are the red side team. They are going towards this. This is an intentional choice. They're going towards the Croc, and then he blast cones in, or he's blast coned in.
Yeah.
But like they were all gonna die anyways. Like you're not getting away from this. LeBlanc, Jin on the left side of this fight. Like where were they running to in between those turrets there on the left side of the map?
Yeah, I mean, you got to be really careful when there is a Croc with Gore Drinker. Like maybe it has been a little bit of a time since we've had Renekton really in the meta, but this is what he does. You got to spread out. You did just catch the Heimer, and yes, Wei was coming back trying to join up, but as you mentioned, they were all just stacked for a Croc.
That was just, I mean, once again, just jumping into the meat grinder, like I said in game 1. Like, what if we all just made sure this Q would do a billion damage? Like, let's actually get a new record. Well, you know, I don't want to say the game is over because of this. Like, it's not quite that. I think KT is still in a good position. Annie's still significantly ahead, right? You have a better team fighting comp here. But man, that lead that they had is definitely significantly diminished. And our chances of 9 games with it. But that was a choice you could make, as Rooster is just sitting here going like, well, I flashed on them. They were standing on the, like half the size of Renekton Q they were all standing on, basically.
Yeah, they were perfectly stacked, you know.
So
it's like you're raiding in WoW, and the raid leader says, I want you to be a pixel stack on this point so nobody gets hit by the mechanic of the boss, of course. Everybody can relate to that, of course.
yeah, of course.
So we did have a historic moment for the first time in Challenger League history. Yeah, you can't gank that guy. Like, Rooster just looked at him and he ran away. So don't even go there. They did force the Dominus, I guess. Here's Grizzly. He's hanging out.
I mean,
but
he's
yeah,
still going to get this turret, but yeah, go on.
the historic moment was that somebody for the first time figured it out that it was Challengers and not LCK by themselves.
Oh.
They were like, oh, it's Challenger League.
Wow, that's actually...
I'm blind. Wow.
Well,
I should have known.
You guys were here for it live, but I'm sure it'll be the front page of the newspaper tomorrow. That's actually
Big
quite...
deal.
That's a...
Congratulations.
Yeah. Who was it? I didn't see the guy.
It was Pepe D _.
Oh, Pepe D _, man. It's going to be him in black and white on the front page of the news. It's going to say Pepe D _.
Wait, this is an LCK Casters, LCK team? True.
Is it... Okay, Sterex is done. Like, actually, I thought maybe he could buy it here, but I was like, I don't know if he quite has enough. Yeah, no, he after getting that turret, he's just straight up has Sterex now. Rooster is not going to be robbed this time if they win it.
No, he won't. He was very angry after the first game. Light the torches.
Honestly, he probably could have just built Hullbreaker.
Was it Bob Quinn that started the LeBlanc static rush?
I'm pretty sure it was Closer.
Well, I mean, like, somebody had to do it in solo queue first.
Nope, Closer did it in a solo queue first and then did an LCK first. Pretty sure it was him. I'm just going to give him all the credit. He was also the first loss.
Nice mic. Yeah, apparently my mic is like all jank today. I don't know what's going on. Sorry about that.
Yeah, we'll have to take a look at that between this series and the next one. Or potentially between this game and game 3 if KT can figure this out. They are significantly behind right now. And Perfect, I do not think you want to interact with this Renekton right now. I think you would like to avoid the interaction.
He does have a lot of armor. Like, a lot of armor. And the best damage item in the game. But he's still not as powerful as the Croc. So definitely be careful.
Look at the armor that... Oh, he picked up a stopwatch instead, Valdez. He bought the armor, chain vest, and then he was like, no, I'm buying a stopwatch. He's like, I could have resources, or rather some more resistances, or I could go golden to potentially Q again.
Yeah. Despite the amount of times that we have said to be positive about teams, I just banned someone for 600,000 seconds.
There you go.
It's a long time.
And after that, if he comes back with another one, he'll ban him for 600,000 years.
Yeah, if he does it again,
that's the next
that'll
step.
Be the end. He didn't say anything that bad, so I didn't want to.
I don't know what he said, so I'm just gonna trust your judgment.
He's just being very negative towards one of the teams that's having a rough day, you know?
Yeah, that's not very nice to do. We don't do that in this chat.
Not in this chat. Probably not in LCK either. Lunel, she's gonna get you.
Yeah, I'd say
gotta be careful.
Stay away from doing that in BCT Pacific as well. You know, just be good to each other.
Say it. Nice. Go say it in YouTube. Thanks, Gatorman. That's exactly correct. Oh, the Jin rooted someone. Okay, this combo, I don't think they ever kill perfect, though. Like,
yeah,
never,
no.
ever. Because
Well, I think if Lure hit, like, all of his ultimate, every single shot, maybe. But even then, it would have been close.
Yeah, maybe.
But I don't think he wants to commit that, and he's not going to, and so Poppy will live. And perfect is fine, but he's going to have to back. And look at the amount of map control that Hanwha Life Esports have right now. I mean, it's lethality Jin. He does big damage to squishies.
Yeah, he actually does pop some people.
So if he catches Aphelios, he and Renekton at any point, Hype and Feisty can't really do the things that they want to do in this comp anymore because they're so far behind now. Whereas the LeBlanc, who's also still pretty behind and isn't that relevant, is starting to actually at least be relevant in sides. Like, she's going to push that Poppy back. Perfect's not going to be able to do much. This they'll be able to trade this for a top side turret here. Because Rooster is just happy to play weak side. Roamer, that is not that was not exactly what he was looking for. It's okay.
He got the auto off. Nearly took out his overheal. Very close. Yeah, you'd have to ask Yundo for the Shiv stats. I don't have that on hand.
I mean, the observers could actually mouse over it, I guess.
Yeah,
I think that actually shows up in the tooltip, but
I believe so.
I don't know if we want to. I don't think it's actually going to be that high in this game, to be honest. It hasn't really been about the LeBlanc. I don't think it'll show you.
Farming up.
I don't know if it shows how much damage to minions. If it's total damage or champion damage, I don't know what it'll show.
Either or.
Yeah.
Some stats.
Would be nice to have both, but
yeah. He went mid. He farmed that wave. Now he's coming bot. He's going to farm this wave. He's going to stay bot. Now, fortunately, Poppy's not the best at actually absorbing waves, clearing it out fast. Like, you kind of want a Gragas, or even an Annie is a little bit better.
Yeah.
Is just, I don't know why he's that far up, but they have a lot of map control, so it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Perfect can't really, he can't deal with this. Feisty is not in a position to deal with this anymore. He's just trying to actually get into a side by himself if he can. But Baron is up. I mean, we're 25 minutes into the game. I think that Hanwha Life can actually really consider just starting this one up, push the Annie back, get some deep vision on the other side of the pit, and what are you going to do is Roamer's just, he's practically trolling at this point.
What you do. Although you're not supposed to take the 2 turret shots.
Yeah,
that's not a thing.
That's not part of the build. It's not part of the strat.
Yeah, no.
Now, if you do, this is the correct follow-up, though, is to go take the Mega Honey Fruit.
The Shiv is fine. I mean, you farm better. It's actually very good. We've seen it a lot. There's a reason why all the pros keep prioritizing LeBlanc. It's for this. It's a lot of map pressure. It's very win more. Like, if you get behind, it can kind of help you, like, sustain and clear waves and stuff like that, but I feel its power a lot more when it's ahead.
It's unfortunate because I really do think KT should have won this game, but they made that one bad call, and now they're on a ward. So everyone's rushing over. Roamer does have TP. He's going to use it. Timing kind of thin on this one for Hanwha.
Yeah, they're coming in here a bit late. Grizzly not going to get an easy entry, too, with this Poppy as the knockback. Not going to hit him. He flashes over and he gets in. Oh, Grizzly, that angle was just dirty as Jin actually killed something, too. And yeah, this one might just be over. Hanwha Life Esports absolutely going to bop them here on top of the Baron. As a big combo into Rooster, but it is not nearly enough. Grizzly will land the Q and probably kills Perfect here. It's going to be close. Ooh, Steadfast Presence. Okay, so not an ace, but basically the end of the game either way.
Yeah, man, this is a real stinker, unfortunately, for KT fans, because this is the kind of game where you got the right tools, you have a solid draft here, but you fall behind so early that it doesn't matter. I mean, Feisty had 2 kills early too, takes out Roamer. Roamer's not having a great game, but like, you know, the funny thing is, in game 1, we're like, oh yeah, it's not really about the Jinheimer. This is the same story, but it's also not about the Poke LeBlanc either. It just really isn't. It's actually just about Grizzly and Rooster. As look at the LeBlanc instantly get deleted here, but Grizzly's like, nah, I'm in here. He and Rooster 2v5. 2v5. Like, I mean, Lure did like some damage, kind of. Basically a 2v5 fight where he steals it. Roaster and him are doing all the work, and like Duro's. It's hard, man. Duro's like trying to be helpful, trying to be relevant, but.
So Lee Sin has stolen 3 Barons today.
Yeah.
Alone today. And yeah, I mean, you were right. Rooster did the most damage in the fight too. So like everybody else was helping, but Rooster is the main character here in this game. They're gonna get Chemtech Soul again. They're probably a little bit miffed about the souls, but it doesn't really matter because the game's not too much about the dragons. It's just Homolife winning fights around that Baron pit or the Rift Herald pit, depending on the time, and taking big leads and getting all the objectives. And yeah, you guys are beginning to see the damage of the autos. It keeps going up. He purchases 2 needlessly large rod. I don't know why they're that large, but it's needless. And now you just do insane damage to the entire team and the wave at the same time.
The Jin solo pushing mid, casual. He like ghost blades in and kills the inhibitor.
Yep.
He's just not there. You know.
Fast.
He's just gonna kill this inhibitor. He's not gonna be in this fight.
This could be the ult from behind angle. Look at all this damage.
He's
this
actually
is all
gonna kill
just
the
auto
Nexus.
damage.
No,
like,
they're gonna stop the back, so they're just gonna end the game. He's gonna stop the backs with Roamer. Look at this. Roamer's like, nope, shiv.
He's TPing. TP comes in. Okay, they get the TP, but this means they should win this fight, right? Rooster kind of forcing it, but the Aphelios not really getting any damage in here. He is going to get close to taking down Rooster, but it doesn't look like they will. That should be the last fight of the game, as maybe the Poppy lives as Lure. Oh my god, one shot for the boys. No, it's Rooster comes in, saves him for a bit, but then Tibbers gets the kill. That's the end, guys. No 9 games.
Rip 9 games, man. When am I gonna get my 9?
We have the cringe 7 today, probably, but either way, that's the Nexus to go down, and Homolife Esports will take the victory, and I swear to God, if Rooster doesn't get unanimous votes, I don't know what world I am living in. That was an absolute clapping of a game from the Croc himself.
Yeah.
And you guys got to see why the LeBlanc is so powerful as well. Especially from ahead, it's like they're trying to approach an objective and they're taking their entire health bar of damage before they even get there, and there's no recourse. You cannot attack LeBlanc. She will, yeah, I mean, maybe if you get your 80 carry in the front, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good.
I mean, even with the static shiv LeBlanc in this game, I mean, the role of Roamer was actually to be in a side lane, threatening turrets and pushing a Poppy away and preventing KT from getting to objectives. He eventually started doing a lot of damage as he picked up those rods, but like, he almost got out-damaged by the Crocodile that KT were so hell-bent on funneling into. And then also,
Scales.
Grizzly, I mean, the only person I think you could vote for if you don't vote for Rooster is actually Grizzly, who dominated the early game, pushed the Viego out of the jungle, went up like 20 CS early, and was constantly making pressure around the map, even though his mid laner was losing, the Genheimer was being relatively absent, wasn't really relevant around those first few fights. But KT really needs to step back and take a better look at which fights they're taking and how they're taking them, because both of these games were kind of defined by KT like tripping over their shoelaces, unfortunately, and yeah, I mean, this was a bit of a rough one. I'm not gonna lie, like, I think KT, despite no real changes to this roster besides losing Rebel, but Wei was in half the time anyways, and same with Perfect, of course. This team hasn't changed, but it feels like they have really lost their sense of how to play the game.
Mojo. They lost their mojo.
I mean, kind of, and like, maybe it's because the meta has shifted and they're not as good at this one, but yeah. I'm sad to see a team drop so heavily in terms of their overall gameplay. It's just rare, too.
I think so. I feel like they are a little bit behind the meta. There's been a lot of talk about the Viego. I think Viego in general right now is in a decent spot, but it does keep losing. It doesn't seem like he is the best Viego player. I know that Hambak is a fantastic player. Maybe he also feels kind of lost in this meta. So, yeah, I feel like Viego, the pick itself, is fine. They're just not playing it well at all. Like, getting less damage than the Rakan is very unfortunate, as you guys can see here. But just not his day. We'll have to see if it does turn around, as this makes Taken heal 12,000 Wolf.
Yeah, 12,000 heals from his Gore Drinker and his Qs. Also 93% kill participation, and a fourth of his team's damage. Also very handsome profile pic. I mean, what can this guy not do when he's got Renekton and a team around him, and KT funneling into a choke point? What can he not do in those specific scenarios? How could he not press Q, press 1, and pop off Valdez? Of course he's going to do it.
Yeah.
He's going to press W occasionally as well, E,
and
chase him down. He flashed also to make sure he was on top of all of them.
What's like a normal healing damage? Well,
less than 12,000.
Not as much as that.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say. I don't think I've ever seen this stat in my life, but it's a good one. The DPM, good enough. He did his job, which was to.
It was a low damage game. I mean,
yeah, and they also lost the early game until that fight. So
they lost the early game. He's 500 DPM, but also still like over 25% of his team's damage. Just shows you that this game was not really about like long fights.
Yeah, in the LCK, like a lot of people that spam Cassante were getting like 540, and they were like second in the LCK for tops. So having like 500 is actually a lot for a top laner. So
yeah,
maybe that's a good way to kind of.
So let's do
relativize it.
Let's do a little bit more of this during this, little interview where we're just going to be chilling here. Let's do a little bit more of the like A or B thing because we did waffles or pancakes and stuff like that.
Okay.
Tabasco or Sriracha?
Tabasco.
Yeah, me too.
Sriracha's like.
I know they're not quite the same,
They're
but
not
like
quite the same.
But which one do you prefer? Which one do you use more?
Tabasco.
Same.
Sriracha's kind of like you got to commit to it, right? Hot sauce or Tabasco is just like like a little spice on top, Sriracha depends on the food. Sriracha can go crazy. That's true.
I mean, Sriracha is great for any food that has rice in it. Generally speaking,
Sriracha was ruined when they cheaped on their farms.
I mean, it could be. I don't know. Salty popcorn. Good question.
Salty popcorn. Thank you,
salty
Ox.
popcorn
Yes.
for sure for me.
You playing solo queue today, Ox? Oh, now the mic is really bad. Oh, I should not have looked at Wolf. I apologize. I'm gonna use two hands now. Leveling alt. What level are you now? Salty is the correct answer. True. Also the gochujang disrespect. It's not even in the same category.
Yeah, no, it's not the same category.
Okay, gochujang or samjang?
Samjang.
Yeah, I'm a samjang guy as well.
Sorry, now I will disrespect it.
It's a good month to use the same mic. I mean, Wolf and I are both married, so. What's for dinner? We're getting curry. 24. It's so slow. Well, it's time to get the XP boost.
So, let's see. That's another good question.
Okay,
mountains or beach? Mountains or beach?
That one's a bit more difficult. I'd say beach, personally.
I spent, I'd say, 90% of my life being a mountain guy. I'm a beach guy now. I've switched over.
People can really change.
Yeah. Wow, mountains winning in the chat, though.
Yeah, a lot of people like mountains. I feel like there's something specific, like something romantic, not like in a love sense, but like something really cool about like being in the mountains away from civilization. Beaches can be like crowded. There's a lot of people. It's really sunny. I can understand mountains people, but I think I'm a beach person.
The thing about, I really hated beaches before because sand, like I was basically Anakin Skywalker.
It's everywhere.
But like, at some point I really enjoyed, like I still enjoy the water, but I just really don't like sand and like you're wet and you're salty. But at some point I really enjoyed both all the activities of the beach, but then like the cleansing when you take the shower afterwards and then just going somewhere where you're like clean, but you still had a great day. I'm like really into it right now. The beach.
Yeah, it's cool. I went surfing with Ghost Lady, my wife, in the rain with an instructor. That was a lot of fun. And
when did you go?
When?
Yeah. I just recently went surfing as well.
That was sometime after spring, like right after spring. I think it might have been after the finals.
How cold was it then?
It wasn't that cold. It was warm enough. Surfing in the rain.
Surfing is fun though. I'm a noob, but I enjoy it.
Okay. Diablo or Sonic the Hedgehog?
I mean, I'm gonna have to go with Sonic, unfortunately. Like, I don't know, just too much of my childhood.
Yeah, me too.
It's a tough call, but like, and it feels really like it feels like a really sad time.
Yeah,
because like Diablo's like at a high point right now. Sonic is trying
they
to
just
be
had a
like,
movie.
Yeah, I mean they're making a bunch of new games and like
Okay.
they're doing okay, but I'm still gonna have to go Sonic because the old Sonic games are it's too much of my childhood.
Goated. I feel like a lot of people have like Diablo 2. Some people have Diablo 1 if they're like, you know.
StarCraft or Age of Empires. What a
It has to be Age of Empires for me because that was what I played when I was a kid.
You cast StarCraft with me. We're sitting here together now because of StarCraft.
We're talking about like from our kid time, you know. I didn't play StarCraft when I was a kid, unfortunately. I only got into StarCraft from StarCraft 2.
This guy over here, man, he's like literally he couldn't even lie to say the correct answer that will make everyone in chat and make me feel better. He just had to tell his truth.
Hey, we got a lot of AoE people here in chat, see?
Okay, what about hold on, let me think about this for a second. I'm thinking about a game question. Okay, like this one's like not quite a 1-to-1, but Mario or Banjo-Kazooie? Like Mario 64 or Banjo-Kazooie? Like for that type of like adventure game.
When I was a kid, I kind of like Banjo-Kazooie better, even though Mario was so iconic.
I'm gonna have to say Mario as well because it was my
I didn't
first.
say Mario.
Oh, sorry. Wait, you're saying? I heard you say Banjo-Kazooie, but then you said more iconic.
Yeah, Mario was more iconic, but I preferred Banjo when I was a kid.
Okay, sorry. I heard you completely wrong. I thought you were like, I went Banjo-Kazooie because it was more iconic, so I was like, oh, he said Mario because I heard more iconic. Okay. I'm going to have to go Mario because it was a little bit more iconic. It was the first N64 game I played. Yeah, Yahoo also like affecting my decision, naming himself after Mario for sure. Not actually, but yeah, his
Just play my mic. It's all funky.
Really going down gaming now. So
Would you rather? I thought I had something, but it's gone now.
Sci-fi game or fantasy game? That's a really tough one for me actually. I usually lead fantasy though.
Probably fantasy, I guess. Just because more games that I play are fantasy games. Sci-fi games are fun.
Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat?
Mortal Kombat.
Street Fighter for me.
Can you show the stats from last game? No. I gotta see if my player got enough kills for my bet. No, we're not gonna look at the stats.
Sorry.
Skyrim or GTA 5? Probably Skyrim.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go Skyrim as well. Up or down?
I'm definitely down.
Oh, but like, okay, would you rather be, for example, really far underground in a cave or like really high in the sky?
Underground in the cave.
I think I would too, actually. Weirdly enough.
When do T1 and DK play? In about a half hour is when we would start that.
I think it's scheduled for 7:20, but it's going to be delayed. So yeah, probably about half an hour.
I think it was scheduled for No, it wasn't.
I think it was 7:20, wasn't it?
It was 5:20. 17:20, right?
No.
Because that's when we started. Anyway, guys, we're going to have to stop comments. We'll see you in about a half hour for the next matchup, T1 versus D+. Kia, don't go anywhere.